Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone who are joining us today with our new episode from Think Krystle-Clear. Don't you love that, Kate?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, thank you. So, we are here today to discuss a very, very important message. I was reading the Love There day by day devotional, and it struck me. And I think many would be able to put themselves also who are wanting, who are looking for something, and many will be helped with this. Let me start by reading first what I was talking about. So it says here, love is brave enough to ask. In John 16:24, it says, until now you have asked for nothing in my name. Ask and you will receive, that your joy may be complete. Isn't that beautiful, Kate?
Absolutely.
So it said here, no matter how well you plan ahead or strategically save and invest, life is able to throw you some pitches you cannot hit, like job loss, medical bills, and other unexpected expenses that can weaken you enough financially until you don't see any way to stay afloat. Or perhaps your deficit is not caused by a setback at all, but rather by a bold new vision God has given for you to you for your ministry or a new business. And you're needing money in order to get it off the ground. So it's not a contradiction of contentment for you to go to God in prayer by boldly asking in His name for what you lack. He knows your need, but will often wait for you to exercise your faith in Him before choosing to supply. He knows the main thing you need to be growing each day is not your financial reserves, but your willingness to depend on Him for everything. He promises that when you ask in His name and for His greater purpose, He will supply all you need for each day. Isn't that beautiful? So, whatever is required for you to do His will in your life. I just love this. So I really love, and it resonates with me today. That's why I really wanted to share this. I have been looking, I stumbled upon it this morning, and then when Kate and I are looking for our theme for today, it really just resonated with the faith that we want to share. And hi, Melissa, good morning.
So
And
I'll start by asking you this question. What is your take on when it says God knows your needs before you ask?
well, that's really, really good because as we all know, we are God's children and God created us in His image and likeness, and He knows all our needs. And so He knows everything about us. Like, like a mother knows her child or a father knows his child. So He knows what you ask, but God wants us to ask because He wants us to depend on Him, to have faith in Him.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what to me, that's the message that really resonates to know that faith is the starting point of everything. I have not so much anymore, but I had a hard time really understanding that um, in your life, that's God should be first and everybody else is after. And it took me a long time for that really to resonate where, oh, I get it because everything comes from Him. all the love, the feeling of contentment, fulfillment, all starts with faith, which, as we were talking earlier, to me, faith is the frequency of love. And the universe, everything was created by Him, which means everything is created out of love.
It's true. And without faith and without love, I believe we are nothing. And but most of the time we forget about that. We forget to depend. We
Mm,
only depend on our abilities because, as we know, we have all the abilities and talents that we need, but we need God. And there, that's why I think, and now we always feel empty. We always feel lost because we don't have that tiny mustard seed faith,
yep.
just that as tiny as a mustard seed. And because we think that we can do it all, but no, we cannot. We need to surrender everything to Him.
Yeah, and I see it like in my mind's eye. How I see that is, um, it's not that you need to give up everything. It's just surrendering to that energy, that frequency of love, that then once you merge with it, you move forward with it. That's what gives you the fulfillment and the joy. And once you move with Him forward, then you radiate that out. And to me, that's a lot of the teachings of the universal law, right? That there is no lack, everything is abundance. And once you meet that frequency and move forward in that, then all of a sudden you start to perceive all the abundance that's out there. It's no longer lack. Now you're co-creating with Him as you move forward.
It's true, and I agree. You co-create. I love that
Mm,
word. You co-create with God as you move forward. It's true because there's no lack. Like you
right.
said, there's abundance in everything that we need, but we just need to know maybe where to find it, or to have faith that we will have it, as we have been discussing earlier.
And I'll ask the really hard question because I know I struggled with this for a long time. If you're one of the people in the audience that's wondering, or I need more faith because I feel like I'm out of control, that I don't have any control of this, and I keep reading everywhere in all these books that it comes back to having faith. You need to, and I even think in Think and Grow Rich, it talks about how you grow faith is through affirmations and whatnot. But I'm going to pose the question to you. This is a hard one.
Mhm.
How do you develop faith? Where do you find it and how do you develop it?
Well, me personally, I believe that I develop it while praying,
Mm,
because with prayer and supplication, that's where when you're vulnerable and you, how do I put this? When you're vulnerable enough, and you say, Lord, I cannot, this is just too hard for me. And then there comes the tiny mustard seed faith, and and that's how you develop your faith that can move mountains. And even if you have a mustard seed faith, in the Bible said you can already move the mountains, but you just need to believe, and that it will be moved, that you have a bigger God, bigger than your problems, bigger than your financial problem,
mhm.
bigger than your health problem, bigger than any problem at all. That there is this big God who loves you so much. And oftentimes, actually, even myself, I feel that I'm not enough.
Mm,
And it's because of the paradigms, of because of
yep,
the way we were brought up, or because we were bullied when we
yep,
were little, and we didn't think that we are really lovable. and we hold on to somebody else, we hold on to something else, and they don't replace the love of God that we need. There's still this emptiness
Hmm.
inside us. And when you surrender, when you sometimes you
Yep.
just need to hit rock bottom, I think, to be able to say unto God, I think you're the one, and and you are my soulmate. Nobody else can replace you. And then you realize that actually it's really God who can fill this void in your life, in your heart, in your mind. And then everything comes, everything, he sends you people, the right opportunities, and he sends you doors
Hmm.
and even windows, if, for the opportunities, and you just need to say yes, because he knows what you need, and he wants to use it for greater purposes. And I'm not speaking only to our viewers, I'm speaking to myself, because I
Yeah.
have been struggling, and to be vulnerable in front of all of you. I have postponed this coaching program for so long, and I know, and many people tell me, my friends, my mentors, and you, Kate, you tell me I have so much to offer, but there is, our worst enemy, I think, is ourselves. And if we don't step out of that comfort zone, we will just be miserable. And there are so many people who need you, who needs to hear your story. And I think, and I believe that it's time for me to get out there. It's time for you to get out there, and we will be able to thrive,
Hmm.
and be able to help so many other women. Now, before I said, okay, I might help one person, but then now I'm thinking, okay, why not help 1 million women
Yeah.
who can help 1 million, because there are how many billion people around the globe
Hmm. Yeah.
who needs help, and who needs to hear your voice, to who needs to hear our voices, and it starts.
Yeah. It starts with faith, right? It starts to going back to faith. And I think once you can have an intellectual understanding if you follow Bob Proctor's material and other people too, Les Brown and all those. It all goes back to, I think everybody can agree upon that the universe is abundant.
Mhm.
And once you have that intellectual knowledge that you are the only one that is limiting to you, you can sink back into the faith of the abundance. And you intellectually, it's out there, but it's when I hear you say surrendering, it makes me think of, okay, so what does that mean when you surrender into what you say is, that God basically has everything prepared for you? What does that mean? So for me, that the faith is actually, when I try to put it into like Bob Proctor's terms, it's slowing your energy down enough to be calm and at peace with
Mhm.
what is God's energy of love. It's slowing down to know we already know the world is abundant. We already know that we're designed to be success. There is no failure. You cannot fail. You just have to slow yourself down enough to connect with God so that when you do move forward in action, you're in the abundance and the success of everything rather than when you walk alone, you're seeing that I'm not good enough, things are going wrong, right? It's a
Right.
different energy. It's a state of being. Faith is having that state of being to know I'm looking this direction and I'm looking at abundance and success. life may come at you every now and then with, as the quote says, financial, medical bills and whatnot. But as long as you keep looking and moving in that direction of abundance and success in faith, you're golden. You can't fail.
Yes. And I love when Bob Proctor says also, you can only have all this if you give value to others.
Yes. Right?
And you need to add value to others, and everything will fall into place. And do what you love, do what you love most, and then money will come, because when you love what you do, you don't think about what how much time you're spending
Right.
with it. and and give value, always
Yeah.
give value, and avoid the competition. He really insists on that avoid competition, because there's enough
Hmm. When,
um abundance here in the world. And so avoid competition, avoid negativity. And we will say, oh, but that's too hard, because I myself, I always say, oh, but that's too hard, it's just how I am. And then I catch myself thinking that, and I say, nope, it's not hard, I
it's a
can do
choice.
this.
Yeah.
It's a choice,
It's
it's
a
a
choice.
decision.
Yep.
Exactly. It's a decision that we need to make every morning when we wake up, or before in the
Yeah.
nighttime before we sleep. We need to make a decision already beforehand. But oftentimes, I know, where we say we are human, we are weak, and but it's up to you to take your life in your hands,
Yep.
and do something great
Yep.
with it.
It's building a different muscle. If your muscle, like, as you know, before, years before, my muscle was the negative one, it was always tearing down. Now I made a choice, and my choice is to build. When negative thoughts come in, it's to stop them, it's to choose not to do it, and build the muscle of positivity, right?
Yes.
And everything in a different direction. So, yeah, faith.
Yes. And yes, exactly what, because I was building like I am not enough. I felt like I wanted to share this, because many of our viewers, or some maybe, know that we have multiple businesses. We are so I know that we are successful,
Hmm.
as for our age, for our background. We were not rich, so we had to build everything from down the bottom. And now it's been 10 years that we have our businesses, and it's not green grass every day when we were building it up. And now we are in comfortable situation. But in the beginning, it was really hard. It was really, am I good enough in doing this? Is this worth it? And but my our reason why we started the business was to have more time with our kids. So Bob says, your purpose is why you wake up in the morning. Why do you want to live that day? So what's the reason you wake up? And for me, every morning, the reason I wake up is my children. So I want to give them a beautiful, comfortable life. And I want them to be able to say, oh, and my mom, even though she was busy, she was there for us
Yeah.
whenever we needed her. Whenever the school calls, oh, we are sick and we she needs to pick us up, then she can stay at home for a week long. And that's what I envisioned.
Hmm.
And we need to have a clear vision of what we want, and what our goals are. So I believe that with having knowing what you love to do, and for whom,
Hmm.
you're already in the right track.
Yep.
And it's necessary for all of us to get coaches, mentors,
Hmm.
and people who are better than us, because when we started our business, I didn't know how to start a business. I was an employee before. Yes, I studied economics. Yes, I studied a little bit of accounting, but I was 28 back then.
Yeah.
So for me, I was a kid.
Yep.
and and now looking back, how did I do it? How did we thrive? It's because whenever I'm in a phone call, I will call someone who knows better than I
Mm.
am. I
Yep.
think, oh, well, I have your number because I need help.
Yep.
I always ask for help from someone who knows better than I am, because you cannot know everything.
Yep.
And and that's why I love now what we do. We give help. We we have we have been there. We know how it feels to not have everything. And now that we do,
Hmm.
and we tell them, if I can do it, you can too.
Yep.
If I will show you the way. And it
That's
has always been my mission. I felt this because even with my employees in the beginning, they were not. They were friends, and we used to work in the same company. So it's a different setting, different environment. And each time, every morning, I tell them, I if I can do it, you can too,
yeah.
because we learn together, we walk together, and we stay together. We grow together.
Yeah. And I wanted to circle back on two things. One is just to acknowledge that everybody has that, um, some variation of that, core I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or some variation of that. Everybody's got it. It will stay with you for life. It's whether or not you allow that to control you is what's important about that, right? Because we all feel that from time to time, and you have to learn how to basically, in a way, I want to say ignore that, but realize that you're more than that. That usually that I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough came from something that happened at your childhood, but that's not you anymore. It's a part that comes along with you, but you have the conscious ability to tell yourself, I am good
Mm,
enough, I am worthy.
yes.
And to understand that everybody's life goes through ups and downs. It's a law of rhythm, right? So, um, there was one other thing you had brought up that was so poignant, and I already just flew right out of my mind, but I just at least wanted to acknowledge that
Yeah.
don't feel bad if you have that, um, in the back of your mind where I don't feel worthy. We have techniques and ways that you can dampen that so that you can keep making the choice to move forward in the goal
Yes.
that you want. Oh, I know what it was that brought it up perfectly. Um, I was one of those persons that didn't know what I wanted. That was a huge, huge and hard question for me. People would literally kept pestering me, just what do you want? You can have it. What do you want? But I didn't know what I wanted. So if you're one of those people, we have ways that will help you grow and figure out what it is that you want. So if that's you
Yeah.
going, well, I understand that you should go after what you want, but I don't know what I want, we can help you out with that too.
Oh, wow. Yes, it's true. And actually, it's knowing what you really want. What do you really want?
Yeah.
And the how will
Yeah.
come.
But
Each time you
sometimes,
ask yourself, yes, what do I want? What do I want? What do I really want?
so some people though have, like myself, have gotten so, I don't like to use this word, but stuck in life. They're used to their routine that you stopped imagining and desiring. And they're, so when I first 3 years ago was asked, what do I want? I had no clue. I literally, I my it was a day-to-day want versus a big goal want. So there's ways, if you are one of those people that actually doesn't know what you want, there's a way to figure that out, how to develop that and come to a realization of what you want. And then we will, as you said, the
Yes.
how will come. But
Yes.
some people are stuck and don't know what they actually want. So,
Yes. And I actually have a confession to make, because I have been dreading this. I am a college dropout, and I have been dreading this. People will say, "Yeah, but you're a college dropout," and then what do you have? And but actually now, even if I am a college dropout, I can show you that it's not about the diploma that you
no.
have. It's it's having the right people around you that helps you grow,
Mhm.
and it's your mentality.
Yep.
It's not because I have everything, all the PhD, that
Yep.
I will succeed. It's asking the right questions, having people, the right people around you will help you grow, will help you thrive, will help your business grow to a larger scale. And 10 years of business, of being in business, and we have 5 different businesses now. And it doesn't mean, even if I'm a college dropout, it doesn't mean I stopped learning.
Right.
I learn continuously, and it's the most rewarding
Yes.
knowing that it's not, and it's there, it's out there,
Yes.
because I I had this fear. We all have this fear that people will what will they think about me? But there are so many people out there who are thriving, and who are not finished, who doesn't have a PhD.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they're stupid or
No.
whatsoever. It's just because there are reasons
Yep.
behind it. And for me, I started here in Belgium. It's French, so the difficulty in language, and but I didn't stop there. It didn't stop me from achieving what I truly want, and from living the life that I truly want for my children and for my family. And so now I really want to encourage you to find the right people, find the right coach, find the right mentor. And with that said, I'm opening my doors to
Yoo-hoo!
mentor. Finally, I'm opening my doors to mentor and to teach you how, and to give you the support that you need to be able to live your life to the fullest. And I am so grateful with Kate, because she has been there for so long now, kicking me behind and supporting me. And yes, well, it's true. Our Facebook user says the rock bottom is what changed her entire life and course. Yes,
Aw.
it's most of the time it's the rock bottom that changes us, that pushes us, and or sometimes it's like the mother eagle telling us to, okay, you're ready to fly, go fly,
Yep.
and she kicks you out of the nest. And we don't drop, we soar,
Mhm.
because
That's how we
we
were designed.
yes, we
Yes.
are designed like that.
Yep.
Yes. So with that said, I am so grateful for this opportunity with you, Kate, and we can continue our sessions every week. I am opening my doors. My Facebook group is opening our doors with the people who wants to join the coaching, and as well who wants to promote, because like what we said earlier, we don't want competition, we don't want concurrence, but we want to thrive together. So I'm inviting people to join me. DM me if you want to be um, interviewed in this Think Krystle-Clear um, show.
That's beautiful, and it's just another way to get the message out, right, and support each other. And somebody that may need some sort of resource, they may see somebody come on and be interviewed, and that's just what they need. So that's great, very generous of you.
Yes, we need to be there for each other,
Yep,
and I know that when we are there, we are stronger
yep,
together than one.
yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Krystle.
Thank you very much, Kate. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.